Hi Fair Class, Miss Carr here. I'm going to explain your work for next week, the week beginning the 25th of January 2021. Okay, things to remember. Try your best, that's all we want. If the work is hard, don't worry, have a go. If you are not sure still, ask someone, an adult, brother or sister, for help. And if you are really stuck, just leave it, that's fine, and we can work through it, talk about it on Friday's video call. Don't forget to pause the video and watch it again if you're not sure what to do. Okay, if you have a purple maths book, here is your work for this week. Remember, we have work for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. Don't do more than we've set out here. Okay, here's some things to help you. So this week, your work is linked with rounding. Okay, thinking about the numbers that you round to if you go up or if you go down. Okay, rounding, you normally make it to a number that is a multiple of 10 or 100 or 1000, making it an easier number to use. So you might round to the nearest 10, the nearest 100, the nearest 1000, the nearest 10,000. Okay, we use rounding sometimes to make an estimate of what you think an answer might be. So you can see if you're nearly right or if you're very, very, very wrong. Okay, so there's a number line here to have a look at and think about when you're making numbers to the nearest 1000. And at the bottom, there's a way to show you how we've used a real sum to check it with an estimate. Okay, also have a think about our crocodiles for greater than, for less than, and for equals. Also this week, you're going to use the inverse, the opposite, okay, to check your answers. So you have a look down below. There's some examples of an add that's then been changed into a takeaway to make you be able to check your answer and see if you're right or if you're wrong. And then next, there's an example of a takeaway. Then we've changed it to be the inverse, the add, to see if you were right or if you were wrong. Okay. Here's also some vocabulary in the purple book this week that might be a bit tricky. So we've talked about rounding. There's a word called approximation, which is where you use rounding to make an answer that's a bit easier, which would be similar to your answer to check if you're nearly right or if you're very, very wrong. Okay. Estimate is making a good guess at your answer. The population is the number of people in a place. Sum and total are linked with addition, okay? And then difference is a word that's linked with takeaway, okay? If you have a blue maths book, here is your work for this week. Remember, only do the pages that we've told you to do. Okay, here's some helpful tips. So in this week's work, you'll be using counting in tens and adding tens. So remember, counting in tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. It uses the words, the term, base 10. It's like the deans in school. There's a picture below to help you remember what it looks like. They also use an example with a drawing of the sticks and the blocks for tens and ones to show how you can add tens. Okay, also you're going to do some work with adding and with taking away using a number line. Okay, if you have a red maths book, here is your work for this week. Remember, only do the pages we've said. Okay, here's some helpful information. Remember about our crocodiles for greater than and less than and equal to. And the crocodile, the mouth always eats the biggest number. Okay, also, when you're comparing some numbers, they use the words true and false. That is the same as right and wrong. When you're comparing the numbers and working out the sums, it's good to do those first and write them on the paper before you compare. The word all together means add. Have a look at the example below. Okay. Also, you're going to be doing work linked with number bonds to 10 or different number bonds. Okay. Think about using things at home to practically do it before you write them down. Maybe cubes or coins or pasta, different things that you can count. Okay, here's some extra things that you can do. So you've got your Rockstar information in your pack to do your times tables. You've also got Top Marks website to find different maths games that we know you can play. Okay, so here's your English work for this week. If you have the Year 1 CGP book, this is your work. So Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, you're doing the workout from the book. On Thursday, you've got a reading activity, which I'll explain in a minute. And on Friday, you've got a writing activity, which I'll explain too. Okay. So there's some things to help you. Remember that full stops come at the end of the sentence. Have a look at the examples below. And remember, you shouldn't forget your finger spaces. These ones at the far side are wrong. There's no spaces between the words. On this side, below me, they're right. They've put finger spaces between the words. Okay, other things, plural S. It means there's more than one. So cat is one. Cats is two. Is more than one. Okay, listen carefully to someone saying the words if you need to hear the sounds. Okay, here is your reading activity if you have the Year 1 book. Okay, it's called Terrific Toys and Games. Read through the words here on the page and talk about the picture with an adult. Read the questions carefully and discuss it with an adult, and then think carefully about your sentences before you write them down. Okay, this is your writing activity if you have the Year 1 book. It's writing about toys. Okay, remember, talk with an adult about the pictures and what it shows you. Spend time thinking about the picture and what's happening there. Think carefully about your sentences before you want to write them. And after you finish, read them to see if they make sense. Don't forget capital letters, finger spaces, full stops, and read again. Okay, English work. If you have the Year 2 book, this is your work for this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you have a workout from the book. On Thursday, you've got a reading activity, and on Friday, you've got a writing activity. Okay, here are some things to help you. Remember to use the glossary at the back of the book if you're unsure of what a word means. Your work this week has got links with syllables, okay, there's a poster to explain, and past tense verbs, okay? Have a little look at these to explain. Okay, here's your reading activity. It's about how to play marbles, okay? Read through the text, checking if you're unsure of any words with an adult. Read all of the questions and discuss them with an adult. Think carefully about your answers and your sentences before you want to start to write them. And when you've finished, go back and read the answers, make sure they make sense. Okay, here is your writing activity. Okay, we want you to explain and talk about the pictures. Miss Syme has made you a list of things to think about when you're writing. It's down here. Okay, but remember to talk with an adult about the pictures and what it shows you. Spend some time thinking about the picture. Think carefully about your sentences before you start to write them. And again, when you've finished, go back and read them again to see if they make sense. Okay, here are some extra activities for English you can do. So you've got your spelling shed work, information is in your pack, and we'd like you to try and be reading every day. Remember, you can ask us if you need more books. Okay, and remember, last thing for work this week is your topic work. You need to look on your class's information page on the HIU's website or on the YouTube videos. Okay, and see what you need to do for your topic this week. Okay, right, bye, see you soon.